What if the best ice cream according to Consumer Reports isn't Häagen-Dazs, Ben & Jerry's cookie dough, or some fancy limited edition flavour? What if it's plain vanilla? And here's where this gets interesting. Consumer Reports tested dozens of ice creams and frozen desserts, looking at taste, texture, nutrition and price. One simple vanilla ice cream scored an astonishing 98 out of 100. But don't buy it yet, because another option costs dramatically less, another has a surprisingly simple ingredient list, and one popular brand may not be the best value at all. Stay until the end, because I'll show you which one makes the most sense depending on what you care about. Let's start with a budget-friendly option. Number 5, Trader Joe's French Vanilla. If you're trying to get good ice cream without spending premium brand money, Trader Joe's is worth looking at. Consumer Reports found its super premium French vanilla to be a solid performer in its more recent vanilla testing. And here's the interesting part. It delivered a noticeable vanilla bean flavour while costing considerably less per serving than some premium competitors. But there's a catch that could matter if you care about ingredients. Consumer Reports noted that this ice cream contains several additives, including vegetable gums. So you're getting value, but you may be giving up some ingredient simplicity. And if you think paying more automatically gets you better ice cream, wait until you see number 4. Number 4. Specially selected super premium vanilla. This is Aldi's premium ice cream. And honestly, this one is easy to overlook. Consumer Reports found that its ingredients were similar to those used in Häagen-Dazs, while the price was considerably lower. So you could get something that feels like a premium ice cream experience without paying the full premium price. Sounds like a winner, right? Not so fast. Consumer Reports found it sweeter than Häagen-Dazs and higher in added sugar. So if your goal is simply getting the most premium experience for less money, this could be interesting. But if your goal is spending as little as possible, number 3 changes the entire equation. Number 3, great value. Vanilla bean. Great value is Walmart's store brand, and this is where things get surprising. You might assume a low-cost store brand can't compete with Häagen-Dazs. But Consumer Reports found this vanilla bean ice cream to be creamy and smooth, with a firmer texture and noticeable vanilla flavour. And the price? In Consumer Reports' 2024 test, it was about 30 cents per serving. That's a huge difference compared with premium ice cream. But here's the trade-off most shoppers won't notice just by looking at the front of the container. Great value uses more additives, including vegetable gums. So if your number 1 priority is saving money, this is extremely interesting. But if ingredients matter more than price, you're going to want to hear about number 2. Number 2, Häagen-Dazs. Yes, the brand people have been buying for decades still has a strong case, and there's a reason. Consumer Reports found Häagen-Dazs vanilla to have a fresh cream and vanilla flavour with a smooth texture. But here's the part I find most interesting. The version Consumer Reports tested had no additives. That's something many shoppers don't think about when they're standing in front of a freezer full of ice cream. Of course, there's a downside. You're paying more. Consumer Reports listed it at roughly $1.33 per serving in its 2024 test. That's several times more than some store-brand options. So now we have a real question. Is Häagen-Dazs actually worth paying extra for? Maybe. But the older, large-scale Consumer Reports test gives us an even more surprising answer. Number 1, Ben & Jerry's vanilla. Forget the cookie chunks. Forget the brownie pieces. Forget the caramel swirls. The ice cream that took the top spot in the older 51 product Consumer Reports test was plain vanilla. Ben & Jerry's vanilla scored an incredible 98 out of 100. And Consumer Reports described it as rich, dense and creamy, with an intense dairy flavour and complex vanilla flavours. But here's why that result is so interesting. When you look at the freezer aisle, the most attention-grabbing products are usually the ones packed with toppings and mix-ins. But Consumer Reports testers found that a simple vanilla could outperform all those complicated flavours in that particular test. And it wasn't just about taste. A 2/3 cup serving provides 6 grams of protein, and the recipe used only 10 ingredients according to the information in the original report. The price was also relatively reasonable for a premium brand. So does that mean Ben & Jerry's vanilla is automatically the best ice cream you can buy today? No, and this is extremely important. Consumer Reports rankings are based on specific products tested at specific points in time. Recipes change, prices change, products get reformulated, and sometimes products disappear from store shelves entirely. That means you shouldn't take any ranking and assume it represents today's entire freezer aisle. So what should you actually look for? The 4 things that matter. Number 1, taste and texture. Do you want dense and creamy, light and airy, lots of vanilla, or something sweeter? There's no single answer. Number 2, ingredients. A shorter ingredient list doesn't automatically mean an ice cream tastes better. But if simple ingredients matter to you, it's worth checking the label. Number 3, nutrition. Let's be realistic. Ice cream is still dessert. Don't buy a pint because you think the nutrition label magically turns it into health food. But comparing calories, saturated fat, added sugar and protein can help you make a better choice. And number 4, price per serving. This is where shoppers often get fooled. A $5 pint might sound expensive, but the real question is, how much are you actually paying for each serving? And that's the bigger lesson from these Consumer Reports tests. The most expensive ice cream isn't automatically the best. The cheapest isn't automatically the worst. And the most famous brand doesn't automatically deserve your money. Sometimes the smartest choice is hiding right next to the brands you've been buying for years. So here's the quick breakdown. If you're looking for value, check out Trader Joe's or Great Value. If you want a premium style experience without paying full premium prices, Specially Selected is worth considering. If you prioritize a rich texture and a simple ingredient list, Häagen-Dazs deserves a look. And if you're specifically looking at the older 51 product Consumer Reports test, Ben & Jerry's Vanilla was the surprise winner with a score of 98. But remember, don't buy ice cream based on the biggest logo on the package. Check the ingredients, check the nutrition, check the price, and most importantly, check what you're actually getting for your money. Because the ice cream that costs the most isn't necessarily the one you'll enjoy the most. If you want more comparisons that help you figure out which products are actually worth your money, hit that like button. We do the research, compare the products, and break down the details so you don't have to. Subscribe now, and the next time you're standing in the grocery aisle wondering, which one should I buy? You'll have the facts before you spend $1. Shop smart, not in the